You can load that down right there. Thank you. All right, let's stand on our feet today. This next guy is man, he works as a financial advisor at Wells Fargo, so you give him a little bit of that above, but he's an awesome motivational speaker, I tell you. Somebody say, God is reaching the kingdom in multiple ways. Now, sometimes, you know, I like to give the word. I hope y'all like hearing me preach. But sometimes, God, we're going to do church a little differently today. Today we have, and I do think that he's a speaker. He preaches. He's a motivational speaker. So you all, let me tell you, when we have guest people here, let's receive them. Let's stand on our feet and make them feel welcome, you know. So let's stand on our feet and welcome Mr. Brennan as he come up here and bless us today. Give God a hand clap of praise. We're blessed to have him today. So we're glad to have you. And we on live right on Facebook. Like, amen. Give God a hand clap of praise as he come. Amen.
Good morning. How y'all doing? So he told you my name is Brennan Robbins. I do work as a financial advisor for Wells Fargo, but I'm also the author of the book Transforming Your Reality: Keys on How to Change Any Situation and Circumstance in Your Life. And those are some of the principles that I want to bring to you today. He said I'm a motivational speaker. I like to call myself an informational speaker because that's what's important to me, is making sure that you get information, keys, tips, and tools that you can apply and get results out of. So whenever I speak, I ask people to take notes. And the reason why I ask people to take notes is because, you know, I want you to be able to take something that you can actually use. And I want this information to hit you in multiple ways. I want it to hit you, number one, when you hear it. Number two, when you write it down. And then when you leave, I need you to read it. So it hits you again. And then once you read it, I want you to take what you read and apply it so it hits you again. And from that point, then we can look for the results. All right? So, you know, how many have been in a situation, in a circumstance where they needed something to happen, right? You in that bad situation, you in that struggle, and you need results. You know, and a lot of times we waiting on that miracle, right? I take myself back to a time, you know, I was already in a bad situation, you know, young, had just bought a house I couldn't really afford, you know, and I'm struggling, trying to catch up, trying to make ends meet, right? And, you know, I'm in the church, so I'm praying and I'm believing for my situation to change. And how many know, even in those circumstances, when you feel like you're doing the right thing, sometimes life hits. So I'm already in a bad situation, trying to get out of it. Got a baby on the way, got my first son on the way, and I lost my job. Already in a bad situation. So how many know that that was a situation in the time right then and there where I needed to transform my reality? My reality was bad, and it had just went from bad to worse. So what I did was I executed the principles that I put in my book. I had to look at how I was thinking, I had to look at how I was speaking, and I had to look at the things that I was doing. And how many of you know in 2008, that was a pretty bad time in the economy. You know, the noise that I was hearing was people around me, oh, I hadn't been able to find a job in a year. I hadn't been able to find a job in 6 months. But how many people know you got a baby coming on the way in 2 months? I didn't have time for that. So I had to make sure my mind was right and stay focused on the right things to get me where I needed to go. I couldn't sit around and wait on that miracle. And when I talk about sitting around waiting on the miracle, it makes me think of John chapter 5, right? You remember the guy? You remember John chapter 5? The guy, he sat by the pool waiting on his miracle for how long? 38 years, right? He was in the place where healing was, but he sat there waiting for 38 years on his miracle, and nothing happened. So how many people know when we waiting? Some people say wait on the Lord, but when we waiting, a lot of times the miracle can escape us because we're idle, right? Now when Jesus came in, most people look at it and say, okay, well Jesus healed the guy. But when Jesus came in, what did he do? He put it on him. He asked the guy, he said, do you want to be made whole? Do you want this? Do you want the results? Right?
And what did the guy do? He didn't say, yeah, Jesus, I want the result. What was the first thing he did? He made excuses.
He started making excuses. He started talking about the system. There's nobody there to help me get to the pool. There's nobody there to pick me up when the water get to move. He started making excuses. And a lot of times in our life, that's what we end up doing. We look at the circumstances and we make excuses. But Jesus put it on him. He said, man, take up your bed and walk. Take up your trouble and walk. Take up your situation and walk. Take up your pain and walk. You got to get into action if you are ever going to get any results in life. And that's what you got to do. You got to pick up whatever it is that you're dealing with and get it going. Take that first step. Make that first move. That's the only way you are ever going to get results. We can't be sitting around idle, waiting, because we'll never get anywhere like that, right? So, and one of the keys is that healing was there the whole time. People around him was getting it. People around him was getting up and getting in the pool, because they say he wasn't the only person there, right? But he sat there waiting, right? And Jesus told him to take up the bed and walk. Now, I want you to also think about that bed, that pallet he was laying on, right? Because that pallet represents something that when you're in a bad situation, sometimes it's something there that makes you a little bit comfortable. It makes you a little bit comfortable. It makes you able to deal with those circumstances a little bit longer. Because maybe if he was on flat concrete, maybe he would have got up a little quicker. But he had that little padding that made him comfortable in his bad situation. And those are the type of things we have to avoid. Sometimes there are things in our life that make us comfortable in a bad situation. And those are the things that we have to deal with. Those are the things that we have to pick up and take with us and just take that first step, right? Sometimes we think about the big goal, and that big goal makes us even more idle. But we forget that take that first step. It's a day-by-day process. We're talking about developing consistent habits that's going to get you to whatever goal, that's going to get you to whatever change you want to have in your life. And that's what's important, is developing. We got to start developing different habits, right? Because a lot of time in those idle spaces, we develop bad habits. And it is what we're doing on a consistent basis that keeps us stuck exactly where we are. And those are the things that we have to look at and examine and change, right? So one of the main areas that I believe we do this in is the financial area. Because that's a lot of times, that's one of the hardest things to turn around, right? Because a lot of times, why? Because we don't have the right information. We don't know where to go for the proper information, right? But we're in the information age. So the information is there. And that's one of the reasons why, when I speak, I won't put all the information up on the screen. I may give you a picture, a visual, right? Because that's what Jesus did. When Jesus went around, he told everything in parables, because you need that visual. Like, I don't want to give you the whole scripture and read it out to you flat out, because why? Ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be opened unto you. So I'm not going to give it all to you. I want you to go read John chapter 5 for yourself so you get an understanding of it, right? That's an action point. And now a lot of times that's what we need. We need points of action, right? So, wherever it is that you are in that situation, whether it's financial, on your job, whatever, what I want you to do today is write something down that you want to change. Write an area down that you need some different results in, right? And then from that point, take one action step that you want to do. So let's say you want to start saving some money, right? And I know a lot of times we have those excuses. Well, I don't make enough. Well, I don't, it's all types of things we can look at to give us a reason to not do the thing that we know we really need to do. So you got to know where you are to ever get to the place that you want to go, right? So if you have a bank account, pretty much any bank, now they track your spending, because most of the time we're using the card for our spending, right? If you click on bank, online banking, it'll give you every transaction so you know where you're spending your money at, right? And all I want to tell you is start somewhere. You may feel like you don't have enough, but most of the time, when you really look at it, it's something you spending money on that you may not necessarily need to be spending that money on, right? I looked at my budget last week and realized I was spending about $400 a month eating out. Almost $10 a day on lunch at work, right? So I had to look at it and I said, okay, well, not that is really a struggle, but I'm looking for money to be able to put more into my business. There go $300-400 right there. So how many know ever since then I've been eating turkey sandwiches for lunch? Right? Turkey sandwiches and chips for lunch, right? Because you gotta make an instant change, and that's what we do a lot of times. A lot of times we see what we need to do. We know we're not dumb. We know what we need to do. But we just end up not doing it for whatever reason. Why? Because we have those excuses. You know, we have that thing. It's comfortable. Because, the type of work I do, I move around. I'm not in one location all day. So a lot of times, it's more labor on me to take my lunch, and I may put it in the refrigerator where my office is, but I end up going to 5 locations during the day. And when I'm hungry, my food back at the office. So how many know, a lot of times, it's a lot easier for me to eat out. But I gotta make myself uncomfortable and make that uncomfortable move to get the results that I wanna get, right? And so that's what I wanna encourage you to do today, is make that first uncomfortable step. It don't have to be a big step, all it have to be is a step. And once you make that first step, make that step consistently every single day, right? When it comes to saving money, I was able to save about $10,000 when I was in high school, working at Burger King, making about $6.50 an hour. So it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much you're managing. Are you managing what it is that you're bringing in, right? So even if make that first step. If you look at your budget and you can't save but $5 a week, start there. Because something is better than nothing. And how many people know if you save $5 a week, that ends up being $25 a month. $25 a month can turn into a couple $100 a year. And then you build on that, right? And there's also some other things that I believe that your money should be doing for you. And you definitely want to write these down. Number 1, your money should be going towards something that's going to make you better. So you need some personal development. So whether that's personal training physically, whether that's some books to read for mental, whatever it is, your money should be going towards some type of personal development, something that's going to make you better. Number 2, your money should be going towards something that's going to grow. So you need to have some type of investment, something that's going to make your money multiply, whether that's a savings account, some type of investment account. And don't think you have to have a lot of money to start investing. I started my first investment account with $10. You can go online to E-Trade, Wells Trade, any bank, and you can open up an investment account for next to nothing. You can open up the account and they'll let you build up to the amount that you need to have before you can buy your first stock. And usually that's about $100. But I started my first investment account with $10. And I put that $10 in there every couple weeks till I had 100, and then that's when I started making my investments. And I just grew it from there, right? So start somewhere. So also, in addition to investments, you want to have some type of business. You want to have your money somewhere where it creates some type of revenue, right? Don't depend 100% on your job. Right now, I'm going to tell you, jobs are not designed to get you to a place of wealth. Jobs are designed for comfort. That's their purpose, right? But we have to be smart about it, because now we have opportunities to do other things outside of our job to get us that extra, right? And everybody has a gift. Everybody has something that you can do outside of your job that can create that additional stream of income, right? Because when we look at wealth principles and we look at people that are wealthy, most of them are what? Business owners. Most of them are entrepreneurs. Most of the time, even the young people, They look at the athletes, but think about who writing the athlete check. Who writing LeBron James that $30 million check that he made? Dan Gilbert, the entrepreneur, the owner of Quicken Loans and multiple other businesses. So that word I just said, multiple. That's what we need to look at. Multiple streams of income. You have the ability to multiply yourself by putting yourself in a position to have streams of income from different areas. I got my 9 to 5. I get income from my books. I get income from my t-shirts that I sell, right? I get income from speaking. Multiple streams of income. And it's something that you can do, that you can capitalize on to create those multiple streams of income for yourself, right? And then your money needs to be bringing you some type of joy. I'm not that guy that's gonna sit up here and tell you, cut everything back, don't go out to eat, don't go to the movies, because then you end up miserable, then you end up depressed, and then you end up not being productive. So your money should be going towards something that's gonna give you some joy. I don't care if it's a Snicker bar. Every now and then you gotta have some joy, right? We can't be around here depressed and not having no fun. I've been there. You know, I've been that workaholic dude where all I was focusing on was how much money can I save? Because I was working to get out of my situation, right? But I became miserable, I was depressed, and I was taking that out on the people around me, right? And that's something that we don't want to do. So I want to make sure that you also are taking some money and do something you enjoy. Go to the movies, travel, do something that you want to do, right? Because the joy of the Lord is our strength, right? So we got to walk with that, we got to carry, but we got to do it on purpose. Everything you do, you got to do it on purpose, because we can sit around and say the joy of the Lord is our strength all day long, but if we don't walk in it, we got to be the ones to do it, right? Because the first thing God did when he created us is he gave us what? Dominion. He gave us authority, which implies what? Action, activity. And that's why when you sit idle, nothing happens. We can be sitting around waiting and praying all day and not getting any results until we get up in the morning, right? How many know if you lose your job, you can sit there and pray and wait all day, but until you get online or go to somebody's business and put in some applications, your job has to become finding a job for you to ever get what you need to get, right? So I just want to make sure that you are in action and that you focus on taking that step, right? Take that step to change your situation. Take that step to change your circumstance. Take that step to pursue the dream that you said you desire. This was your dream. I didn't put that on you. Pastor didn't put that on you. This is what you said you want to do. So every day you sit there and you don't pursue that dream, who you lying to? You lying to yourself. That's the worst lie to tell. Tell a lie to yourself, right? So I just want to encourage you today to get up, make that move, because the power is within you, right? You have the power in you to accomplish and to do anything it is that you want to do, right? You have the power to transform your reality. And when I say transform your reality, because the situations that we deal with on an everyday basis, they're real, right? A lot of times we're taught to see beyond our pain, see beyond our struggle, right? That's true, but we still in it. So we still feel the effects of it, right? So what we need to do is learn how to transform that reality, right? And it starts up here. It starts with the way you're thinking, right? So whatever it is, whatever those negative thoughts are that you're thinking about your situation, get some new information today. Get a new way of thinking about your problem, right? And then you have to change the way you're talking about it. When your friend calls you, don't spend 20 minutes talking about how bad it is, right? I don't let people call me and talk to me for 20 minutes about their struggle. You can tell me about it, but after that, we got to get to some positivity. What's the solution? Be solution-minded, not problem-minded. You might want to write that one down. Be solution-minded, not problem-minded, right? So once you get your speech down and you're saying the right things, how many know that will develop a new image? And when you start to see yourself differently, then you will have different actions. Most of the time, people are broke because they see themselves as broke, and they continue to do broke actions. So most of the time, people are unemployed because they see themselves as unemployed. They talk unemployed, so therefore they act unemployed. and unemploy a boy to take that even to another level, right? So it all starts in the mind, right? How you think, how you speak, and then that rolls over into your action. And once you get the right actions down, I promise you, you can get any result it is that you want, right? No matter how big it is, you can achieve exceeding and abundantly above anything you can even ask or think once you start doing the right things. And that's my message for you today, man. I appreciate y'all time. I appreciate you. And don't forget, man, I got my books in the back. You know, this is the type of stuff that I talk about in my book. It's called Transforming Your Reality. Keys on how to change any situation and circumstance in your life. Everybody can follow me on social media. It's all positive, all keys and stuff that you will be able to use on an everyday basis to change situations and circumstances in your life. I appreciate you.
Let's stand on our feet. Everybody stand on your feet. Let's all stand on our feet. And let's give God that kind of praise for what we just heard. Was this good? Well, you can turn me up. Was this good, church? Let's somebody say thank you, God, for practicality. You know, I'm so awesome. We're so blessed today to have that kind of teaching. That kind of teaching. You know, for many years, you know, we came and, you know, like he said, you know, I like how he used the man of Bethesda. You know, he said, get up and walk. Get up and walk. But a lot of people, we come to church, we shout all day. We pray to God, but we don't use practicality. He talked to me about, you know, things I need to do towards safe. Sometimes I'm like, man, I got to eat this fast food. I want to go in. But, you know, God, I thank God. How many of y'all took some great nuggets here? Now, y'all know I'm going to quiz you. Y'all already know because I'm going to quiz see if you remember what he said, because breaking religion is not just saying amen. It's about do you remember the message? Do you remember what he said? You know? So, who remember the first thing, the first action that he asked us to do? I like it because, you know, I love this. I will cheat. I will cheat. I like this. He says, make the first uncomfortable step. Look at your neighbor and say, make the first uncomfortable step. I saw you, Brother Morrell, remember that. So how many of y'all going to go out of here and think of that uncomfortable step that you can take? How many of you going to do that? You know, how many of you going to do that? You know, find something that makes you uncomfortable. Next thing I like, there was a lot of good stuff in here, man. You know, he said, you know, invest in something that makes you better. Right? Makes you better. What's the next one he said?
Investment savings.
Huh?
Growth. Investments and savings.
In growth. Give God that type of praise, growth, right? Then he said something I want to see people doing. Create their own what?
Different streams of income.
Different streams of income, business. And then, you know, this is something I said. I said, this, he better, I wanted to run around the building, go old school for a second. He said this, be solution-minded, not what? Problem-minded. Be the solution. Be the solution. You ever heard of people who always say, well, we don't have this today. Well, you know, how can I help? Or even in church, Pastor, how can I help? How can I do this? Or how can I help on my job? So let's give him a hand. Thank you so much. And thank you all for allowing us. You keep that going. I'm ready for that music program. Give God a hand clap of praise. Amen. Hallelujah. Are y'all blessed? Somebody said we're breaking religion. Look at your neighbor and say we're breaking religion. What is religion? Not knowing Christ. But the thing is, we've been going to church school, running around, and dying because we